And it's probably just on my YouTube, not on anyone
Okay, it says
else's.
meeting now is streaming live on YouTube, so it may be just on yours. We don't know, but that's fine. At least we're on. We hope.
And it's probably just on my YouTube. There we go. I can see it. It's on my.
Meeting
Oh
now
God,
is
I need
streaming
to
live on YouTube, so
need to mute that. Okay. So I can see, okay, so I can see, at least I can see the chat. Let's do live chat there. Okay. So welcome everybody. This is the comedy act once again of us trying to do this live thing, but unfortunately we were only live on my YouTube channel, not Rose's YouTube channel. So actually, you know what, Rose? I'm going to give you Oh, can you do this if I share a link with you that you could possibly just um, pop it on your Facebook? Do you think?
I I might be able to on my computer.
Um,
Not this computer, my other computer.
yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send you in a message. I'm just going to send you a link that
Okay.
we should be able to, you should be able to share this
Okay.
onto your Facebook at least.
All right. I'm going to run over to my computer. Again, everybody, this is our comedy act for the
Yep,
day.
sorry everyone. And then I think I've let Jenny in. Yes, I have let Jenny in. She's in. Okay. So sorry. Yeah, we the way we always go live, it didn't want to play with us this morning. And hey Jen, I can see that you're in. I'm just going to spotlight Rose and spotlight myself. So we apologize, people. Once again, just typical technical issues. But if you're on YouTube and you're watching me on YouTube, we're going to try and add Rose on Facebook. So if you follow Rose, you might be able to catch us live over on her Facebook page if she can get that to share on her Facebook page. So we do apologize for these technical issues, but it just is not playing nice once again with us. It's always a gamble. Every time we jump on, it's always a gamble. It's like, is it going to go live or is it not going to go live? And is it going to go in the right place? And of course, it didn't want to go in the right place, but um anyway, hopefully we will be able to craft along with you and have a good fun time this morning. And so I can see it says 12 are watching me on my YouTube. So welcome everyone. This is our basic foundations of card making August craft along. So every month with our basic foundations of card making, we create Rose creates two cards, and we have videos in our private basic foundations of card making group. And I create two cards and do two videos in our private group, and then we come together and we do a live, and it's always a comedy act every time we try to do this. There is a drama, and I actually thought I had it all sorted until I went to click for it to link into where it's supposed to be, and it decided that it just wanted to go live in no man's land. But we're
Yep.
now live. So did you get to share it, Rose, on your?
Yes, it's on my Facebook page. It may not be on my YouTube page, but you can find it on my business Facebook page or my Stampers Delight group page. And it is not Donna, it is not me, it is technology because we have everything set every time and then they change something. It's the same thing when I go live on Friday mornings with my Switcher Studio. And I do the same thing every Friday. And then all of a sudden I get on there and it's like, okay, it's not streaming live. So they change things and don't tell us.
I had it all set up. I physically had the links, the things that I had to copy over, had it all set up ready to go on one thing, but it didn't even give me the option to copy the links in
It's
there.
all
So
good.
yeah.
It's all
Anyway,
good.
we are here
Yeah.
now. So this month we have been playing around with some embossing folders. So all of the members got a pack of embossing folders that were called the Glass and Garden embossing folders. So we have been having fun with that and our awesome two-tone cardstock. So I know the members have been raving about the two-tone cardstock and the effect that you get when you actually run it through an embossing folder and distress the embossed layer. So we've been having fun. So Rose, have you got anything to talk about as far as the two-tone cardstock and the embossing and the
Well,
effects?
I fell in love with the two-tone cardstock when they started it, and when they first came out with it. I tried it out and I loved it. And then I decided to do that paper share, which I know a lot of other demonstrators are also doing that. And for me, I use it whenever I'm layering now because it doesn't add as much weight to the card. And we all know that, postage is going up again, at least here in the US. So it doesn't add as much weight to it. Plus the fact that you have the light and the dark side, you got the white core in the middle, and it really adds some texture and a lot of different looks to your cards and scrapbook pages. Don't, I also use it on my scrapbook pages. So yeah, so we've been having fun with that. And Donna and I were just discussing next month. So each month, the members get something from us, whether it's cardstock, two-tone cardstock, gems, ribbon, embossing folders. And so next month we are going to get into blending colors.
So that will be
So
a little bit more fun. And it's the basic foundations of card making, people. It's for lots of different people. You don't have to be brand new to crafting. Like, we are teaching lots of tips and tricks that we learn as we go along. And Rose and I have been saying for the last Lord knows how many months that we've been doing this. There's so many things that we can still learn, so many things that we did years ago that people don't even remember that we can bring back and we can do again. So I know I was so tempted this month to use blending brushes with mine, and I thought, no, 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 I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so do we want to give them a little bit of an idea of what they're going to get next month?
absolutely, absolutely. Blending brushes. So you're going to get blending brushes from us, and you are going to learn some new, maybe not so new techniques in using the blending brushes, which sometimes people have trouble with and sometimes they don't. But we're going to show you some little tips and tricks and techniques with blending brushes. So next month
I
we'll be
think I
blending.
was going to say, most of the time when I've had people talk to me about blending brushes, they go, "Oh, I can't do that. I just get this blob." And I mean, the idea of being a part of our basic foundations of card making is we are going to teach you not to get those blobs. We are going to teach
Right.
you how you can get a really nice, good, even blending with blending brushes, because there's lots of tips and tricks. And I think unless you have been told that, you will just pick up the ink and you will just go, like, and then you end up with this horrible swirly blob that's, yeah.
It's only
And you
good for Halloween. The blob
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fine if you're making a Halloween card. I have to laugh because I'm looking straight ahead. Donna and I are on Zoom. So Donna's over here and I'm right here. And I never know where to look because I'm looking over this way when Donna's talking. And then I realize that people are seeing the side of my head. So if you see the side of my head, it's because I'm watching Donna. But anyway, we do have fun with this. And we are so, I mean, it's really taken off. The one thing I do want to mention is that we started this in January. And in January, we did a lot of templates, cutting sizes, and we go through this every month because Australia's cutting measurements are different than the US. And we started with the templates so that we have templates for both countries. And those videos, if you join, let's say you join for September, you still have access to those templates. So when we talk about a template color and the size, you will have those template videos. They are in every month. We put those in the new group, which is always the basic foundation of card making, and then whatever month it is. So next month, we'll say September. You will have any of those templates that we have already made. And I do just want to mention that if you are not in Australia and you are not in the US, you can still join the group. You will have access to the Facebook group. If you're not on Facebook, we send you the YouTube links. You just cannot get the product. Okay. And you can join under either me or Donna if you are in any other country. So we'd love to have you. It's been phenomenal, really. I mean, I'm just so happy with the way the class turned out. And we have so much more to go through and to show you. So I'm looking forward to the next few months too.
Exactly. All right. So I think it's my turn to go first, isn't it? Because I think I
Okay.
threw you under the bus last month, didn't I?
Yeah, you're always throwing me under the bus. It's okay. You got the bus. I don't have a bus, so go ahead. You go first.
All right. So let me pop my camera down and I will sorry, Rose, take you away from there.
That's quite all right.
All
I
right.
want to see
So
you stamping anyway.
yeah, for everyone in my group, they got the Blackberry Bliss, the bubble bath, and the grey granite. So, of course, with the cards that I've already done with the grey granite, I have no grey granite left. So, but I wanted to let everyone know that that's actually what my group got. And they had some basic white cardstock. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to use the embossing folders and show you with the embossing folders and by sanding how much of an awesome, wonderful look you get. But I also want to do the tearing technique, which I think is something that is absolutely with this two-tone cardstock is the bomb when it comes to creating a card. So first of all, I'm going to take my card base and I'm going to fold that in half and burnish with my bone folder. So this is our thick, basic white card base that we have here. Now from your template, for the people in basic foundations of card making, I'm actually going to I'm going to emboss this piece, but I'm also going to emboss these pieces as well. But whenever I do anything as far as a layer on the front or anything that I'm actually going to do, I'll just bring in this quickly. This is a sneak peek of one of the ones that we did in the group. So when I did this layer here, I actually cut it to my black contrast layer. So I always cut it to the height of my black contrast layer and then I worry about what width we can do. So for anyone in the US, you'll still use your black template to actually get that look, to get the height, but then depending on which width we're going to do is, so I'm going to cut, first of all, I'm going to cut my bubble bath at our black template size. And I apologize, I don't have my black template out here today because I've put them somewhere. My whole lot of templates, I've put them somewhere and they
You
weren't with
put
all
them
of the things
somewhere and
that I
can't
needed.
find them.
Yeah, they've gone into that mystery. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, all right. So, can I do this one at that size too? I think I can. Okay, yeah. So we're going to cut both of them to the black template size just to get the sizing that we want. So they're both at the same size. Okay. Now, what I actually want to do with this is I want to tear, I want to emboss and then I want to tear so that we get to see a lot of that white coming through. So I'm going to probably put my pink on top. So I'm going to emboss with, we've got two embossing folders that came with their kit this month. One is this gorgeous floral, which I absolutely love. And the other is, sorry, I just had Linda trying to get into our Zoom call. The other is this gorgeous textured look as well. So I'm going to use this beautiful one here on our bubble bath piece. And normally what I like to do is when you've got something like this, I like to just try and center it right in the center of your layer. We've got a really good top and bottom line, but this image is actually like, sorry, the embossed piece is actually larger than our black line because this black line is normally where we can actually line it up to make sure that we've got it straight. So I just eyeball it and make sure that I've got a good even bit on both sides, a good even bit top and bottom, and you can see where your flower is, where you're going to place that. So I actually want that to be like right in the middle of that bubble bath piece. So I'm just going to bring in my cut and emboss machine, and these are thin embossing folders. So when I say the thin, they're the regular ones. So we're just going to use a number 1 plate and one of our number 3s, and you can see my number 3 is very well worn because it gets a lot of use. And then I do typically like to keep a number 3 that I don't cut very much on. So I'm going to pop my embossing folder with the fold going through my embossing folder first and pop another number 3. So that is number 1 plate underneath, number 3 plate underneath, my embossing folder with the cardstock in it, and a number 3 plate on top. All right. So then we get this gorgeous embossed look. Okay. But we're going to make that embossed look even better by grabbing just an emery board, a nail file, a sanding block. If you're someone that's done some painting in your house and you've got a sanding block, anything that's got like a pumice stone, anything that's got a little bit of a rough texture. And I just like to run flat over the top, and you will see that it brings this embossed image out because we're going to bring that white through and peek through.
Donna, your nails match the
They
paper.
do. And you know what? I was going to do new nails. I really need new nails. I need to put another set on, but I was like, no, I'll keep them the way they are. I'll do them this afternoon.
Well, it's perfect for tonight because you match your card.
So just take your time, make sure you've got it on a flat surface. And as you can see, that has just brought that floral image to life. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to emboss this with the other embossing folder because this has got a really nice textured background as well. We're going to keep this one at the same size. So I'm going to emboss just down this side. Sorry, you know me, I'm winging it as I go. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to see if I can do this. Let's see. It could be a massive fail, but I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to go that way, and then I'm going to try and maybe pop some embossing over on that side as well. The only thing I don't like about narrow ones is that with our layers, sometimes I want to emboss the whole layer, and that's what I want to do here. So I'm actually just going to play around, and as I said, it could be a massive fail, but we can hope it won't be. So same deal again with our embossing folder, our plates. We've got number 1 plate, then we've got our number 3 plate. We've got our embossing folder going through with the fold first. Now, something that a lot of people ask me about too is, how do we know which is the top side of our embossed side and which is the bottom side? Can someone chime in into the comments and tell me, do you know, how do we know which one's the top side of our embossed look and which one's the bottom side? Now, I'm going to try and turn that around. As I said, this could be a massive fail, but I'm hoping it won't be. And I'm going to run it back through this way. Type it into the comments and let me know. Sorry, I'm keeping an eye on the comments. Now I'm going to try and line that up, that it looks like it's similar. So look at that. And let's hope we've got enough room to run this through. We do, just. So see, these are the fun techniques and the fun things that, oh, until I moved it, the fun things that we learn, because you may want to do this as well. You may want to go, well, I want that embossed all the way over, but the embossing folder doesn't go that far. Now let's see if this turns out okay. Not bad. What do you think?
I like it.
Okay. So we do have, I just wanted this to have a nice textured background underneath, and I thought I don't want it with a plain side. So I wanted to have it embossed all the way. So of course, you know me, I need to get the nail file out again to make this look a little bit more obvious again. So on a flat surface, and just take your time with this because you don't want to go too crazy with your filing and tear it. So just keep it nice and flat. Get a little bit messy doing this, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah, you get fibers on the table.
Yeah.
But
And you just, brush them away.
brush them off. Throw them on the floor.
Throw them on the floor. All right. So I've got that and I've got that. Now, I like to distress my edges with my scissors. So you can, I know that the people from the cards that I did in the group, I did this, and this just brings up that white image. Now, the white edging, it doesn't, see how I just cut into that there? don't even worry about whether you do that. It just adds to the rustic charm if you do that. So it's no drama if you cut into it. But normally what I do, you can actually get a distressing tool to do this. I just use the blade of my scissors. I don't think I've ever used one of those distressing tools. I think years ago, Rose, they used to sell their distressing tool, didn't
Yeah, they
they?
did. They had a distressing kit,
Yeah.
and it was basically a metal nail file and a round nail file.
Yeah.
There were several different pieces to it. I probably have them somewhere around here, but I don't know. I don't know what I did with them. Maybe when I reorganized for like the 10th time down here, I'll find them. But the
Rose was just
scissors,
talking about she gets down in her stamp room and starts reorganizing things and gets on a bit of a tangent, which I'm sure
oh
we
yeah,
can relate to that.
oh yeah. But the scissors work just fine.
Okay, so all I've done is just distressed the edges just to make it look a little bit more rustic looking. Now with this one here, what I want to do is I want to tear down along this. Now, when I tear towards myself, the bit that's going to be left is the bit that's going to have the white. Okay, so when you look at this, and you see that the bit that's left here behind, I'm tearing this bit towards myself. So the bit that's left behind is the bit that has the white edge. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm not going to throw that bit away because look at that. When I turn it over, it's got the white edge on the
Oh,
back
definitely not. You can
as
use that.
well. So that can be used for the inside of our card. So now I'm going to tear down this other side as well. So what I'm using is the focal point of this card is really going to be that gorgeous embossed look with the flowers. Now I have paired up using the Charming Day with my cards. Okay. So I've got a really nice rustic look like that, ready to go onto the front of my card, like so. All right, so now I want to do a little bit of stamping and adding another bit of a focal point. The reason why I chose the Charming Day was because of this floral embossing folder. So I'm actually going to, I think I'm going to do the large flower, and I'm going to stamp that in Blackberry Bliss. So I'm just going to bring in a scrap of basic white, which I have a scrap here, which I've been cutting out some nice little trees. All right. I'm going to ink up with my Blackberry Bliss. We're going to bring in a technique that we have already taught in the group as well with our Wink of Stella. So we have a cute Blackberry Bliss flower. I might even do one of them. Okay, so I've done the large flower and the small flower. I'm going to grab my Blackberry Bliss, and I like to do this with just a little block so that you don't contaminate your ink pad, and just add some Blackberry Bliss onto there. And I'm just going to pick some up and add a little bit of color with my Wink of Stella. In the middle of our flowers. Now, I tend to flick from the middle of the flower and flick it out when you've got a darker color like this, because it really is quite obvious with the Wink of Stella that you're coloring. And all I want really is just a hint of that color coming out from the inside of the flower. And then I like to, on the leaves, just bring a little bit more out on the leaves. And all this does is adds just a little bit of color to your image, but you're still staying in the same tone. So you're not mixing up any color tones or anything. You don't have to find any other colors, which is great. You've already got them here. Sorry, I'll try to do this a bit quick. And learning techniques like coloring with your Wink of Stella and things are things that we are teaching in this group. So I know, Rose, you hadn't colored with your Wink of Stella before, had you?
Not like that. No,
No.
no. And since then, I have played with a lot of different ways
Yeah.
of using that. And I'll go over that when I do my card, but I had never done it this way before, and I love it. And it's
And
a
it
great
just,
way.
yeah,
Oh, I
it
was just go ahead, Donna.
just saves you having to have blends and things as well. Like if you've got your ink pads, all of a sudden you can color with your Wink of Stella.
Absolutely.
So if you're on a budget and you haven't got lots of supplies, it's a way of coloring without having blends. All right. Sorry, go ahead, Rose. We were trying to talk at the same time.
No, no, I was going to say the same thing. And by using that, especially like for people that do classes at their house or, anywhere else, if you do workshops and in-person events, a lot of times you don't want to carry all those blends around with you. You can just carry your ink pad and you can color this way.
Yeah, it opens up a whole new crafting experience being able to color your stamped images. I used to shy away from stamped images, like that were just a lined image because I was like, that looks like totally boring. Like if it's just a lined image. I mean, within reason, like depending on if you're gonna do it as like a patterned background or something, I don't mind that it has no color on it. But when you're doing a focal image like this right on the front of your card, you definitely want to have a bit more color happening. All right, so I've just with the matching dies cut those out. This I really feel like this stamped and die set is probably one of my favorites because you all know me, I love flowers.
Oh,
So
it's absolutely a gorgeous set.
I just want to have a shout out to I did a card just recently, like my last video, I did a what was called a grayscale card.
I
And
saw that.
I was watching someone else and it was using this set. And it was watching, I've actually got the card sitting right here beside me, so I will actually give you a bit of a sneak peek about it. If you didn't watch that video, make sure you jump over onto my YouTube channel and go back and watch it because I actually had a comment of someone saying, I never knew that you could just use grey and a card could come out so beautiful by just using grey. And it was just different shades of grey. And we got on to talking about the test pattern, like the TV before we had colored TV. It was such a funny live video. Like there was so much conversation happening. I think I looked and I had over 300 comments on my video because of us chatting about the black and white TV. But anyway, so now all
Well,
I'm doing now is adding my layers.
Donna, real quick about that gray. When I saw that, when I first, saw that come up, and
Yep.
I'm sorry, but I looked and I went, oh my God, 50 Shades of Gray. That's what I thought
Yeah,
of.
I know, I know.
The
And
movie. The
because my
movie.
last
I'm
name is
like,
Gray,
oh, okay.
I was going to say, and because my last name is Gray, there has been many, many things that has been said to us about the series, the book series, 50 Shades of Grey, because we used to turn up, like our whole family, and they would go, oh, here comes the 4 shades of grey. Like, and people have always said that to us. But yeah, I know. And do you know what, Rose? That was in my head. Like when I was doing it, that was what was going around in my head. But yeah. Talking about the card, look, I'll just bring it in just for a sneak peek. There you go. So
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
you can see there just grey tones and how beautiful you can get a card to come out. And not really a great deal of thought process there. It's physically just the colors itself are making that card look so good. It was fun making
I,
it too.
I
I
don't
was
see you
having
take your pick tool there, Donna.
no, I know. I'm just going with it the
You're
way it's
winging it,
going.
I know.
Okay, so I've just popped that one up on dimensionals. It's in my drawer. Hang on, I'll do it because Rose has now called me out on it, so I better do it. Look at this. Here we go. I will remove them with my take your pick tool. There you go.
There
Oh,
you
and I
go.
removed the whole dimensional. Look at that. Ah, let's try another one. Let's put another one in there. There we go. Oh, I'm going to do it again. Watch out. It just doesn't want to play with me this morning. See, easier not to use it. No, I'm kidding. All right, so I'm just gonna pop that one right there. Now, for the inside of my card, I'm not going to do any coloring because if I do coloring with my Wink of Stella, if I'm not putting a layer in there, it's going to go through the back. So if you want to color your flower for the inside, then by all means use a basic white insert if that's what you want to do, because if I colored right now with my Wink of Stella, it would show through on the back, and we don't want that to happen. So let's clean up my desk. So I've just done a little bit of a stamping on the inside. Now I'm just going to add a bow, and you can go really mad on me for using this. No, actually I won't do that. I'll do this. I was going to say go mad on me for using something that's retired, but I won't. I'll use this one. It could be retired too, I don't know, but anyway. I need to go through talking about organizing your craft room. I need to go through mine and actually rearrange and remove the things that are sitting here on my desk that are retired.
Yeah, I do too. And then every so often, I have a crafting desk over on one side of my room, and then where I'm sitting right now when I do videos and stuff, I have another desk for my videos. And after a while, everything gets over here where I do the videos, and I can't find anything.
Yeah,
So I have to clean that off again too. It's like we're constantly cleaning our craft room.
that's it. We're always doing something. Oh, and I just went to try and get a bit of, we'll try this bit
I
here.
don't think anybody that doesn't craft doesn't understand that. Like I go down to check on my mother-in-law every day, and she'll usually say, "What are you doing today?" And I'll go, "Oh, I got a video to do," or "Oh, I'm, prepping for a class." And then every other day I say, "Oh, I'm cleaning up my craft room." And she goes, "Didn't you already do that?" And I'm like, "You don't understand. You clean it up and then you mess it up and then you clean it up
I know.
again."
I cleaned mine the other day, and my mum and dad were here. So I've had mum and dad here for the last 2 days. And they were here, and she went to come and get my chair out of my work, out of my craft room, and I went, "Oh, please don't look at the mess in there." And I literally had cleaned it up the day before. But then I did things. I recorded all these videos and I did things, and it was, yeah, like you would have swore I didn't even clean it up, but it ended up back there again. Now I'm fussy cutting, which we have taught everyone to fussy cut in our group. And don't be scared about fussy cutting. It's not that scary. And I feel
I
like
actually
sometimes if you don't concentrate too hard on it and just go for it, it comes out better. You know what I mean? Like if
Mhm.
like here at the moment I'm doing it because I'm on video and I'm trying to get through it quickly because I know I'm taking a fair time doing my card here. But and I mean literally just running around it, and you've got your sentiment cut out. So it's I think some people overthink it. All right, so I'm going to nestle that into my flowers here. So I think I'm going to pop it up. I'll use some mini dimensionals. So the reason why I'm using the minis is because I've fussy cut it, there's narrow bits, and trying to fit larger ones on when you've done that, there's nothing worse than seeing a dimensional peeking out from underneath a sentiment or something. So now I'm actually just going to sit it across there because I've got both things popped up, and I've now popped it up again. We're now like 2 layers high with our dimension, but you know me, if you're going to spend the money on paying extra postage, you may as well go the whole hog. And I'm just going to add my bow, and the glue dot wants to stick to my finger instead of my bow. There we go. Down there. And I'm just going to use my basic rhinestones because they are my go-to when I can't think of what I'm going to use for an embellishment. I do the basic gems. And probably one up there. And there you have a card showing the gorgeous white edging from your two-tone cardstock, and also accentuating those embossing folders by using a sanding block on top after you've embossed. Now, the other question is too that I know a lot of people ask is what happens if I don't want to have that white showing through and I want to use my two-tone cardstock? If you soften your cardstock with a little bit of a misting of water, a spray of water, and soften the cardstock, you'll get less of that white showing through when you actually emboss with the two-tone cardstock. So, because I know a lot of people say, I want to use a two-tone cardstock, but I don't want the white showing through. That's another way, another trick is to stop that white from showing through. So there you go. That is my card. So now it's going to
It's
be over to
beautiful. I love
Rose.
it. I love it.
Oh, hang on. I've spotlighted the
Okay,
wrong
yes, you
Rose.
have
Hang
to.
on.
You
I've
don't want to
spotlighted the
spotlight
wrong
me. You
thing.
don't. They want to see me.
Hang on, and I'll remove that one. Oh dear. There we go. Oh no, I'm
No,
spotlighting
that's
myself
you.
again. Hang on. I looked and I thought, oh, that's Rose's desk. No, it's my desk. Sorry.
It's because we all have the glass mats.
I'll get it right here in a minute.
Okay,
There we
so
go. There we
there
go.
we go. So for my members, they got. I'm going to show you. They got some pumpkin pie. Do I have any pieces left? I thought I did. Yeah, here we go. So they got pumpkin pie and Cajun craze and some Granny Apple Green. And because of the cards, I'll show you one of the cards that we had done. Now, I have to tell you, the first card I did, I had to use a different embossing folder because in this mess of reorganizing, I lost my glass and gardens ones that we were supposed to be using. So, and then here you see that there are the different color two-tone card stock. So they didn't have a lot left. So the card that I'm going to design tonight is for the leftover pieces. So we're going to take a piece of half sheet of white. And I'm going to just use my paper trimmer here and I'm going to score that. And I didn't score it very good because there's a piece of cardstock stuck in there. Let's do that again. Okay. I'm going to put that right here because I'm going to need that. I'm going to grab my bone folder, which you can see I wasn't ready because I didn't have it here. That's going to be my base card. Then I'm going to bring in my black layer. Now, this would be the black template size. And I am going to, the funny thing is, Donna and I don't talk about what stamp set we're using or we just, do whatever. And it's amazing how we think alike. So I'm using this one, not the flowered one, and I've been using that one. So I'm going to first put this in here. And again, I'm going to eyeball it about right in the center. I know there's that bright light there. And maybe if I put a piece of something there, you won't see it. But okay, so I'm just going to eyeball that. Now, the funny thing is, here's a little, well, I'll do it. I'll do it the correct way first. So Donna already told you, you got plate number 1, plate number 2, or number 3 and number 3. This is a thin embossing folder. And that goes through your machine. And then and I always forget where I'm looking here. So I have that image right there. And that's just plain white. Now I'm going to use this again for those strips. And I need 3 strips that need to be about an inch. They don't have to be perfect. I got these 2 strips left, so I'm going to use those. This one is an inch. I'm going to make them 3 inches, though. Again, this is the leftover two-tone cardstock that my members got because of the fall coming up. So I can take 2 of those, and I'm using the dark side instead of the light. And you always want to make sure that, I want these kind of the same, that you're stamping up logo is on the top of that. But I want to show you something else. And I've done this quite a few times, not realizing it. I have my number 1 plate. And sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes I get lazy. I already have the number 2 on there because let's say I'm die cutting. Even though it's a thin one, sometimes what I do is I just grab, is it this one? I have to think now if this is the way I do it. I don't want to tell you wrong. Yeah. And I'll run that through and it works. So you can use your number 4 plate, your number 2 plate with your thin embossing folders. And the reason I'm telling you that is because if you're like me, that one didn't come out too good, but that's okay. If you're like me and you misplace something, like your cutting plates that you need, you can switch it and use those plates. So I don't know if anybody ever does that. And I don't know if it's highly recommended, but I do it all the time.
I was going to say, you've just taught me something because I've never done that. So there you go.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. I have 2 of these machines. One is over here by where I do my videos, and one is over where I create. And sometimes if I'm over there and I only have the cutting plates, I don't feel like walking across the room.
Yeah.
And it's not a very big room. I mean, well, I guess it is, but it's my basement. I'm too lazy to walk across the room, so I usually just grab those other 2 plates because they're already there.
And
And
the
it'll
question
emboss
I was going to say, the question that I asked about how do you know which is the top side of your embossing and which is the bottom side? I was just looking at the comments and I'm thinking, what are they saying the Stampin' Up logo is on the top? And that was the question that I asked while I was doing my video. And yes, when the logo is on the top, that is the way your cardstock comes out of that embossing folder, that is the top side. So that is the embossed side. And if you turned that bit of cardstock over
like this.
after you got it out, that would be the debossed side. So that
Right.
means that instead of the embossed pattern being raised up, it would be indented into the cardstock. So that's called
Right.
debossed.
And the thing is, remember, you can distress, I'm going to say, either side. It would still work. You would still get some white on that, but you're going to get a better white on there. Now, whoop, I'm using, and it looks pretty bad because I use it all the time. This I got at the dollar store. I don't know if you have dollar stores and see this. I missed this piece, but I'm not worried about that because you're not going to see very much of it. These are nail buffers, and I got this at the Dollar Tree,
I
and
never got
that's
to see a Dollar Tree while I was over there. The one that I went to go and see was shut and we couldn't get in.
oh really? Oh my
Yeah,
God, you
and
would
I
love
always
it.
the one thing I wanted to do when I was in the US was actually go to a Dollar Tree store, but didn't get to do it. But yeah.
Oh, and we call it a Dollar Tree, but unfortunately now it's a $1.25 tree, and they also have $3 and $5 items. Like everything else, it's gone up, but it is still called the Dollar Tree. So there you can see I have a lot of that distressed white. And again, I could have done it on these sides, but I wanted the darker side. So then what I'm going to do is I am actually going to bring in this piece, which was the white, and I'm going to layer these because remember, we've used all our,
Maybe Rose, do you want to hold them up closer to your camera just to show
oh
there you
yeah, thank
go.
you for reminding me. Now you
Yeah.
see how I didn't do that one, and I could go back and do it, but I'm not going to bother because you're not going to see very much of it. So that's how I'm layering them. I'm going to actually do these flat. Now, one thing I want to tell you, if you watch me and Donna, you know she loves the liquid glue. I love my stamp and seal. We both use the other products, but be very careful if you're using stamp and seal or stamp and seal plus, once you emboss the um, two-tone cardstock, because it does get very thin. And I think I'll add the green one next. So I'm just adding some stamp and seal on here. And then this one. See, that's what I meant. I wasn't worried about it because you weren't going to see it. Then I'm going to bring in a piece of white. I have scrap white here. And I'm going to cut this to our Balmy Blue template. Okay, so if you have the template, I think I changed that, but I'm going to start it. I'm going to do it to that one. Okay, that side is good. I'm then going to bring in, now I'm using the stamp set Amber Autumn, and that's the one I've been using. And this is nice. Let me bring that up because that light is shining there. I love this for the fall. I'm going to bring in my Cajun Craze. And I'm going to do a bit of stamping first. So the first thing that I'm going to check, I just re-inked this, so I want to make sure that it's not too messy. Not bad. Okay. I'm going to grab this white piece before I do any more. And I'm just going to put the sentiment right on the front here and hope it goes straight. If not, turn your camera so it looks straight, okay? All right. I'm going to grab that square piece, which I already lost. I'm going to go in with the Cajun Craze. I'll hold it for a second. It really looks like a Blackberry Bliss. My Cajun Craze is so dark. And the other day it was too light, so I re-inked it. And now it looks like Blackberry Bliss to me. But anyway, Donna did coloring with the block and Wink of Stella. What I'm going to do is I'm going to color with the Wink of Stella, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to use the Wink of Stella and blend that color that's already there. So if you've watched videos, especially my videos from back in the day, I always said, oh, be careful. Don't let your Wink of Stella bleed onto your image. Well, that's exactly what we're doing here. I want
And
it to bleed.
I was going to say, and you'll find that dark inks, the ink will shift a lot better on dark
Right.
inks. On light inks, you've got to be fairly quick to get it to shift. But on dark inks, like your Night of Navy, your Blackberry Bliss, your Cajun Craze, it moves quite easily. But as I said, the lighter ones, it's a bit harder.
Right. And like I said, I was saying in a lot of my videos use the memento because you don't want the color to bleed, but sometimes you want the color to bleed. Now look, I'm going to bring this up close and hopefully you can see this. Can you see the one that I didn't put Wink of Stella on yet? I don't know how well you can see that,
Yeah, yeah, you
but
can see
now
it.
we
It's
have
got a
some
nice
color.
watercolor. Yeah,
Can you see it? Yeah.
yeah.
And this is one of my favorite things to do. Now, again, I didn't know anything about the block the way Donna was doing that, and I love it. And
Probably
this
the,
just
I was
kind of
going to
like
say, probably the way I do it with the block, you get a more intense color. You get more color.
right, and this is more like a watercolor. The other thing I wanted to mention, and I did this on a video years ago, but I actually just redid the video. There's another way to color with these. If you have a lot of these that don't have any more Wink of Stella in them, don't throw them out. You can re-ink them by putting some alcohol in there and get the last bit of your Wink of Stella. But you can also take it and put alcohol in it and a couple drops of re-inker. And I don't think I might have my red one here.
I was
Let
going to
me
say, I
see.
noticed you had a post
Oh, I
about
got
that
my
the other
green.
day. Yeah, so you can
Yeah,
use
so
different colored Wink of Stellas.
right. So I did, and I did a video on that the other day, and this one I did green. So you see now I have green Wink of Stella. I didn't use a good Wink of Stella. I used one that was just almost out, and I refilled it with a little bit of alcohol and a few drops of re-inker, and now I can color with my Wink of Stella that way. So there's a lot of different ways we can use our Wink of Stella for coloring.
So Rose is saying, don't throw out your old ones. Refill
No,
them
no,
with some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and have a bit of a play around with some colors, you know?
absolutely. But do yourself a favor because I've done this a million times. Use a Sharpie and write on there. Like I usually write REF means I refilled this Wink of Stella. So I know I've already refilled it once. And if you're using a color, write the color on there because
Yeah.
otherwise it can get a little confusing. All right, I'm going to grab my uh large. I'm talking to you about the take your pick tool. I'm going to grab some dimensionals and I had to look for mine. I'm going to add some dimensionals on here.
I didn't even have to look for my take a picture. It was in my drawer and I knew it was in my drawer. I just didn't get it out to use.
Oh, so you're telling me you get a little lazy sometimes
I
too,
was just
right?
lazy. I was just like, oh, I'll just
Yeah.
whip them off with my fingernails here. I'll just whip them off.
Yeah, I love it when other people are honest too. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm lazy. I don't feel like walking across the room and getting it, so I'll wing it. I'm going to take my twine and I'm just going to wrap that because this is kind of large. I'm just going to wrap that around all four of my fingers here while they're spread apart and just get some twine there. And then I just pinch it in the middle because I just want some of that to show. When I flip it over, if I don't see it, what I want on there, I can always play around with it and pull one of them a little bit wider. And then I am going to lay that right on top here. I'm going to bring in my card base, and you can again, you can put this on flat if you wanted to. I'm going to use some more dimensionals
Yeah, pop it up.
because
Get the dimensionals
we
on
do
there.
love our dimensionals. I think it looks, I don't know, I love the way it looks. And for those of you that know me, that watch me, know how much I love my white on white with a pop of color cards. And basically that's what this is, using the two-tone cardstock scraps. Oh, Donna, look, I look like you using all these dimensional.
See, I'm rubbing off on you now, Rose.
Yeah, you are. I'm like, oh, I can get away with two of
Yeah,
those.
come on, don't skimp on those dimensionals. I'm sure you
No,
have a
no.
few more on there.
And I am going to layer that right on the front. Now I'm going to stamp the inside. And again, I don't know why the Cajun Craze looks darker than it should, but I did just re-ink it. I am going to put "You're Simply the Best." And then I am going to bring in that scrap paper. I am going to bring in that same stamp. I think what it is I've been looking at my Cajun Craze that needed to be re-inked forever, so light that now
Yeah.
that it's the right color, it looks dark to me. Then I'm going to bring in I have some Cajun Craze and gold dots that are in the new mini coming out next week. We're going to use those. And this stamp set is also in the new mini, by the way. And I'm just going to add a couple of gems here. And there, I have a beautiful card, but I'm not done yet. There's my card. Then what I'm going to do, I am going to bring in my envelope. I'm going to stamp that first. And then, and the smaller embossing folders are great for this. If I can find the one I was using, there it is. And then I am going to match my card by putting the lip of this envelope into my embossing folder. And of course, you have to fold it over so that it fits. And this is another one of my favorite things to do, is to use the embossing folders for the lip of your envelope. And when I tell you, I've been doing that for years. I have been doing it for years. I just love the way it looks. And now I have the matching card like this. I know we don't usually do the envelopes, but I did want to show you that little trick for those of you who have never seen it, with the embossed lip of your envelope to match your card.
Very nice.
And there's my card. I hope you liked it.
All right. Well, there you go. So we have just done our two oh, maybe I should put my video on my face, could help instead of my desk.
Yeah, we'd like to see you, Donna.
There we go. So that is another episode of our crafting along. We have some of our members that are in here in our Zoom call, which we will, once we stop our live video here, we will be chatting with those afterwards. If you are interested in joining, of course, it's not on, the links are not in the description of this video because this video was, of course, one of those, technology challenged videos of us trying to go live today. So if you're watching this and you're wondering where is it on Rose's channels, it is actually over on Rose's Facebook. So I do apologize. I'm gonna have to get it sorted because for some reason it just didn't even want to work this morning. So but anyway, thank you for being patient with us when it comes to this. But we're here and we're live and we're crafting with you. So that's the main thing. So if you wanted to join our basic foundations of card making, if you want to be in for September, where we're going to do with blending brushes, you need to join before the end of August, which we've only got, for us, it's the 29th of August here in Australia. So you've only got a couple of days to be able to join. But please reach out to us, or if not, go back to our July craft along. It should be in the description of that video there.
Right.
Please make sure if you want to join, we're going to have some great fun with the blending brushes. So look forward to that. Rose, do you have any other words to say before we end our live stream out on YouTube land?
No, the only thing I would add is with the group, you get 2 videos a month from Donna, 2 videos a month from me, and also the live craft event right now, which is you're seeing it live, but the group members are actually in a Zoom meeting with us, and that's why Donna said we'll be chatting with them later. But it is, when you think about it, it's 4 different projects for the month, and then 2 more, so it's 6 projects you get each month.
Yep.
And
And
that's
you
about
get a
it.
sampling of products as well. So next
Right,
month we
right,
will
right.
be sending out, there'll be a pack of blending brushes that are going out to each and every member that we have. So and we will be teaching them tips and tricks with our blending brushes. So if you really want to jump in and get into this, it just helps you with your creativity. It helps you with your card making and knowing things from, I always say the reason why we called it the basic foundations of card making is you have to have a good grounding when it comes to card making to make your card making pleasurable and a fun experience. If you don't have those grounding things of knowing those basic foundations of card making, it is very hard and you struggle all the time along. So if you're somebody that has been struggling with creating cards, with them coming out the way you want them to come out, then definitely think about joining our group because it is all about the tips and tricks that we have learnt along our many years of experience of paper crafting that we have done. So, and Rose, I keep saying this and I shouldn't say this, but Rose has had many more years experience at the papercraft industry
Yeah,
than what
what
I
she's,
have.
are you trying to say I'm old,
No,
Donna?
no,
No.
no. I'm just saying,
I know, I'm just
I'm sort
kidding.
of like half the experience compared to what you've had. But and anyway, I mean, we learn from each other, so that's the
Yeah,
main thing
absolutely.
about it. So
Absolutely.
thanks for hanging out with us on YouTube and over on Rose's Facebook page. So hopefully we will get our technology things sorted before our crafting session. So we do this craft along the last. It's the last Friday of the month for us here in Australia. It's
Right.
the last Thursday of the month for people that are in the US. And
Right.
for everybody else, you have to sort of try and work out the time
You have to
difference.
figure out
But
what day you are.
yeah,
You
yeah.
again.
It's
We
always
have
the
enough
same.
we have enough trouble figuring out our two.
It's always the same. So it's always 9 a.m. unless we change it because of other unforeseen reasons. But it's always 9 a.m. on the last Friday of the month here in Australia. And it's your 7 p.m. Is that correct?
7 p.m. on Thursday night, the last Thursday night in the US.
Yeah. So thanks for hanging out with us in
Yes,
YouTube
thank you,
land. So
everybody.
we will sign off now and we will hang out and chat with our members for a little while before we go about our daily chores like we normally do. So thanks everyone on YouTube. We will
Bye.
see you all again.